Website design tips for launching a business. How in the world do you do that? What does it take? Well, I have the right guest with me. This is Matt Shoup, multiple businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses. He's launching a book called The Painted Baby. And in this segment, we are doing the data grind. I'm going to take his website. We're going to talk about it. But in another breath, don't forget to watch the other videos. There's so much golden key content in there. Content where we talk about Matt's story, Spain trips that he does, a little bit about the Painted Baby story, and we have the video like that shows that. But let's get into the data grind.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see us.
Thank you for watching. And Matt, don't forget to share a little bit about this book because I want to hear more about it. And then I think the part I want to hear about in this segment, because I sat in on a session with them and I was like, I want to know more about that. Yeah. So the guy with the Painted Baby story who wanted to know more and he really gave you a hard time. Talk to us about that. And I think there's a secret there. I think there's a breakthrough there that we forget as when we're in sales, we're in website work. And what is that?
Now, you're talking about Bill in the story, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a story within a story.
This is an intense story.
How much of the story do you want me to share? Do you want me to take you back?
Summarize the Painted Baby, and then I want you to do Bill's story.
Yeah.
Of that engagement.
So I'll start with Bill's story. So I'm sitting with a client of mine, worked for him before, and I'm sitting in front of the biggest contract of my life in a painting company. It's 15 times the size of a normal business deal. So it's a big deal. Wow. And I'm hitting him with all of the A+ 5-star shiny marketing brochure, tip-top reviews, here's why we're perfect, and trying to close him. And he's not having it. He pushes the contract back. And he's a straight shooter. He makes decisions and he goes, I'm not signing this, I'm not ready. And we back and forth a little bit and he says to me, hey, I want to know about a time that you screwed something up and what you did about it. Oh. Never had a customer ask, why should we hire you? Why are you great? Tell me why you're great.
How many sales tactics do I need to use to close this guy?
and I sat there, I was like, what does he want to know? So I shared a couple of stories about some mistakes that weren't big mistakes, not a big deal. And he just wasn't having it. He's like, I know you've got something better. I know you've got something better. I said, fine, we painted a baby. Do you want to hear about when we painted a baby? And he leans in, to that drama, to that, hold on a minute, this is something different. So I shared the story about 3 years prior to this sales engagement. We were painting a home and the paint sprayer jammed and my painter went to pull the trigger to spray black semi-gloss paint on a door, and the sweet lady homeowner with her 9-month-old baby, she comes out, brings the guys drinks and snacks every day. She's standing there right behind these guys because she's out every day watching the paint job happen. And boom, he pulls the trigger, paint explodes everywhere, all over the house, the landscape, everything within a 30-foot radius, including the baby. No way. So he calls me. His name's Raul. Mateo, he's a guy from Mexico. And Mateo, I paint the baby. And I thought he was joking, but I'm like, something's different. And he just goes, come quick, I paint the baby. And he hangs up the phone. I'm not there. I'm 20 minutes away, and I get to the job site. It's a mess.
Oh man.
The point of the story is, we were faced with a really bad day at the office. That is not supposed to happen. We could have lost our business if that wasn't handled correctly.
Right.
But we handled it. We did the right thing. We addressed and took accountability. And I'm sharing this with Bill. And as much he's engaged in the story, right? There's a component in the book I share about storytelling and capturing somebody's attention and taking them on a journey with you to find out who you are. But he signs the contract after that. I'm like, wait, I just shared my bad day at the office. And he goes, you're the kind of guy I want to do business with. You're honest and I trust you, and I don't think anybody else is going to share something like that. They'd rather save face than be real. So I'm like, So I just went on this journey of exploring, okay, let's share this in sales scenarios. And I found that, painting a picture of perfection, it really prevents true connection, but we're so conditioned and hardwired to do it just in our everyday life. And the businesses that really separate themselves, they're willing to own their vulnerability, their mistakes, and share that with people. And then other humans see that you're human, and then they get more human as well, and you build deeper connections. And I tested it, because I test everything when I went out, and started sharing the Painted Baby story. I raised my closing rate 10 to 12%.
That's so cool.
Which this is not as tangible and measurable, but when things went bad or went wrong, they weren't as upset. Emotions didn't get as high because they know, hey, this guy's painted a baby. He's painted the wrong house.
It's way worse.
He's done these things, right? But we know he's going to handle it. So they're like, okay, you got some paint on my car. We'll figure it out. That's what insurance is for. Versus prior, I just overpromised. Everything's going to be perfect and beautiful and wonderful. So the book is taking you through a journey of how you can capture, craft, and communicate your painted baby story, when and how to share it. There's some hesitation in doing it because people, they go, why would you do that? So there's a whole chapter dedicated to that.
Nice.
And I actually share a lot of other painted baby stories from business owners and how those stories made their business better.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So if you want a book, definitely subscribe and drop a comment in the description, and then we'll be able to get that going for you. And you have to be in the United States, unfortunately. It is going to drop on Amazon on the 31st of January, 2023. So don't miss it, guys. Order as many as you can on there. Get the hardcover, not the Kindle. The hardcover is going to do you so much more justice. You can take notes. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. I'm a big advocate of that. And then who knows, maybe Matt will do an audio for you eventually. So
we got some fun stuff coming up with the book. Yeah, really cool stuff.
So super cool. Lots of events, lots of things like his Spain trip, and you can watch all these other videos about that. You can watch the original video that he has. It's in the description on the painted baby story. It's super elaborate. We have your website, Matt. Wonderful site, very cool. So many good things about it, guys. Like when I jump on a Data Grind website, a lot of times I don't end up with such a compelling website, but I know you and I know how your mind works. To jump back to the question, and before I data grind, for you and for the viewers out there, what does it take to launch a successful website as a business, and what does that look like?
It's and I didn't design this per se. Like I'm not a website guy. I know some of the basic. Somebody's going to land on this, see above the fold, and it's either going to capture their attention or they're going to go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, but you have the business mind.
It's got to be you. This is my personal brand, so I think for me this is different than if you were to go to No Code Jiu-Jitsu. I feel like if your business is a personal brand, there's nothing to hide behind. It's you. So I, for a long time, was not happy with my mattshoup.com site. I think from a design standpoint, but I think also just getting comfortable in my own skin. So I'd say if you're a personal brand and you're watching this, like you have to be comfortable with who you are, who you serve, what your message is. If you're not a personal brand, your business, it's the same thing. Like you need to know who you serve, what you're great at, what you're unique at, and then that website needs to speak to that there. On the No Code Jiu-Jitsu, we've got some video. This will give somebody a really good idea of what kind of environment they're going to walk into. We talk about who we serve, breaking it down, and then we've got all of our instructors too. So obviously there's psychology of colors and design layout and elements, and you want something on there that's going to drive somebody to action, to call you, reach out to you, subscribe, follow, try a class. So cool. So yeah, and what a wonderful website. And something I always tell people is, once you find that right person for you, hold on to them. And sometimes they graduate out of your business, and that's okay. Or sometimes you need to move on from them. Or sometimes they change niches. That happens. But definitely you're gonna go through the ringer trying to find like the right agency, the right company, the right feel. There's times in my business when we're on point and we're just crushing. There's other times when we're still, going after a different bid, and that's fine. That's all part of exploring. You're allowed to go through different agencies to find what you want. Now, let's go to the data grind. We've seen the beautiful site. I like mattshoup.com. Simple, easy, animation, places that you've been featured in. And then my favorite thing is there's a video right on the first fold, okay? Extra 3 minutes of engagement right there. If you ever have a website, get a video done, put it on the top fold if you can. And then I'm about to throw the video that you cut, the 30 seconds.
Sure.
I'm going to throw that up there as well.
Just do it. Have like a Spain button. That really drives revenue. Matt's security on his website's top notch, 10 out of 10. SEO, 30 out of 10. We're using a tool called Website Grader. So the designers and the web companies done a really good job. Mobile's still good, 20 out of 30. Whenever it shows red, it just means that, I have red too.
It just says this site is okay. That's it, huh?
No, the site's good. 71 out of 100. I like
Love
that. Page requests just means that on your search console. So guys, listen up. Your web designer, there's a place called Search Console. Sometimes there's some errors or pages that are not linked or they're not showing up on search. You're gonna redirect those ones, or you can kind of fix the errors. Page speeds you can work on, but it's mobile. So your mobile is it's important. It's saying you can minimize the JavaScript. These are like I would say these are like, you have the house is painted, it looks good, everything works, but for some or other reason, I don't know, you want to change the paint, you know? It's good. Performance is all about loading speed. Now here's the deal. Loading speed can be a long process. Some shortcuts for developers or business owners to tell your designer is go to your host like GoDaddy or whoever it is. There's this thing you can do which is called CDN, which is like your network, and you can kind of boost it up a little bit. Or you could hire another company who's really good at loading speed and just have them do it. And once it's done, it's done. Like we did Leading Edge Electric and they're loading at like 0.3 seconds, and then their mobile is loading at like 2 seconds. And it's definitely helpful. I would say, like, let me see here. You guys don't have to stress too much. It's not like, I'm gonna do Google page speed. If your page speed was like really bad, I would have told you.
No, I want to know.
I've never had a guest where I'm putting him on the hot spot, and I feel like Simon Simon Cowell on like whatever.
Roast me here.
And like,
roast
no,
me in my website.
Roast.
Put it on YouTube.
Yeah, but this site is so good too. Anyways, on Uber Suggest, this is another one. So when I look at sites too, like the best places to be on is like Google My Business, which you're already on that. Way up there, you want that. Then you want to work as many backlinks or other people talking about you. So he's got 569. Good job on your people. Usually you start with like 3 or 4, but your organic keywords, 408, organic traffic, 240 a month is really good. So your content and everything you're doing is drawing traffic to the site. Domain authority, 25 out of 100, still very good for a new site. Yep. Very impressed.
Yeah, that's a pretty new one too. We really revamped that one a lot.
So they're doing a good job, okay? So keep that up. Lots of good keywords. Look at this, Cafe Sevilla, Sevilla, Spain leadership, Cafe Sevilla again. He's getting 22,000 hits on that. Something you can work on is these positions. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna get those because you have content about it. So you guys can just put like more keywords in those articles. You're fine. You're gonna get it. Great site overall for a new site, guys. This is all about, like I said, choosing the right place to do stuff with. Okay, and that probably wraps up our data grind. Yeah. Any other questions or thoughts, Matt?
No, that was awesome. Great to be here.
I love it.
I like hot sauce now.
Okay.
I'm not a hot sauce guy.
We have our next hot sauce.
Would it make this better?
It won't. You can dip it on there.
This is the same thing?
Yeah. There's a company we work with called Some Like It Hot, and they're a tanning company in Wyoming. I love these people. They're so funny. Their website is like a little PG, but it's just because there's people like tanning on there. And he gave this to us as like a gift, but you can buy these different. He's got a hot sauce for everything, and we have the hottest one, we have a spicy and like basic one, and then we have like a garlic one. Which one do you want to try?
Let's do garlic.
Yeah. Let's do something not too
spicy.
Hot. Yeah, let's do basic.
Sounds good.
He also has a Bloody Mary mix. That thing is bomb. That's Shondi and Hyde up in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Big shout out to those guys. This one hasn't been open yet. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, you eat your cracker.
I ate my cracker.
You have
already.
to put it on the rusk.
I'm not putting it on the rusk.
Just maybe do it on the spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try that.
I was gonna give you my rusk, my cracker.
Right.
Kind of tastes like salsa.
That's good.
Not too. Okay, now the hot's coming along. Not too hot.
Medium hot. 7 out of 10 hot.
It's kind of hot.
It's good.
That's American hot.
Mm-hmm.
South African versus
the
American.
tanning salon did this. That's awesome.
Isn't he a genius? Like he's kind of like you in that sense. And I know they're gonna try and eventually like do a lot of. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. Another $1 million+ business. Gotta have him on here. But what do you think, Matt? 1 to 10?
This is a 9. I like it.
9.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, fire, boys and girls. My last question in this segment is the worst business advice someone's ever given you.
It's advice from people that have never run a business. Like somebody's experienced this run a business, like they have experience, they have a lesson, they have a story there. But I mean, you'd be surprised. It's like, don't let your broke uncle give you financial advice. Don't let somebody that is a lifelong employee, and which is great, that works for you, but they're going to tell you all about how you should run your business, and they've never done it, so they just have no relevance, no authority, no experience. So just watch where you take advice from, because everybody has it. Doesn't mean you need to take it in and listen on it.
I love it. Cool. And that's the end of this segment, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching all the videos.
Yeah.
Matt, any final words? Or so we cheers and...
Dude, thanks for having me. Thanks for all this food and everything, man.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Sal, you've got to try some now, man. See you guys. Cheers.